Take 2. Cigarettes. It's what's for dinner. Happy Thanksgiving Day. How's my hair? I guess that's probably not enough. You haven't seen me topless any more than I have in the last few months. I might be getting fat for all I know. We might as well give thanks to our health and well-being, if we have it. Never really know until you look. It's getting better all the time. I'm afraid to look. Yeah, I put on 5 pounds. Not that it ever changes the way I look, but it changes the way I move, you know. I like to be light. If it weren't for gravity, I could fly. We say that stuff. And you say, I heard that joke already. And I say, in the Farmer's Almanac, the old Farmer's Almanac from today's date, November 25th, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, usually gives little historical things, sometimes a word of wisdom. Here's the word of wisdom. Thanksgiving Day. And it's a quote. A good life is, a good tale is none the less for being twice told. What's that tell us? We're so used to walking around screaming and saying, I heard that story. And until you can quote it properly, you don't have really a right, word for word, you don't have a right to say, I heard that story before. Because good stories, there's always more to them. A good storyteller tries to hold as much in as possible because he doesn't want to lose the interest of the listener. It's not like a plan. It's just something he learned. He knows he has to act fast or they're going to get away. And then as time goes on, if they decide to say, you told me this story before, you can go, yeah, but did you hear this part? And a story has more things to it. And even as time goes by, the person that's telling this story sees some of these things to him and realizes there was more to it than I saw at the time. This is the animal part of us that's hell-bent on survival. We have to be able to understand and get along with the things that we fucking exist in the same realm of. So to tell the same story twice, Thanksgiving Day. I was born on Thanksgiving Day. I got permission from the Old Farmer's Almanac to tell the same story twice. And I gotta believe something else is gonna happen in here that won't make it like you're watching the same thing over and over again. Maybe you get something more out of it. Maybe you've been introduced to it in a way that makes you now capable of seeing the bigger things. I was born on Thanksgiving. My mother said, she's like, ah. And my dad's like, ah. And they had me over in Petoskey being born. I think that's because either I was a special child. It's just like Rosemary's Baby and Damien. You don't know where this fucking kid came from. They brought it in from out of town. Which is the only way I could have been here. Because if I had stayed in Gaylord to be born, if I had showed my face in Gaylord for the very first time, weak like that, they would have fucking picked me up by the ankles. Like the damn El Salvadorian guys, or Hondurans, or whatever, they just fucking, and they would have bashed my head against a fucking fence post. Kill it in the cradle. But they took me to Petoskey on Thanksgiving Day, and they got there and my mom said, I think I'm all right. And so they just drove around for a little bit in town in Petoskey. My dad had a little driving excursion on the day of my birth. He loves to drive. We're drivers. Us Elderquists, we get on anything and we fucking drive it. Just like that guy Franco in Atlas Shrugged. You get on the damn thing and you figure it out really quick. We like to drive. So my dad got to drive to Petoskey. That was before they had a casino. It's a good thing. Otherwise, I would have starved to death if there had been a casino there. My dad would have been there all the time. And then she said, it's time. And so they drove to the hospital and they fucking took her in. And those were the good old days. You see in the old 50s videos, movies about, what do you call it, serials, about guys in the waiting room while their wife is in having the baby. They're all smoking cigars and having a good time talking about football or something. Who cares about fucking football? It's the best day in the world for football, but I don't care about football. So it's one of those things you make room for something more. Enjoy life. But he had to go across the road to the bar across the road. They didn't make them go in there and stare at this gaping fucking chasm where a fucking beast comes out like Invasion of the Body Snatchers out of a pod. Who put that in there? You did. I didn't know that could possibly happen. Education isn't what it used to be. And I was born while my dad was sitting across the road in the bar with his Thanksgiving dinner. A hamburger and a beer.
Is there water running somewhere? There's like almost no water pressure.
I have no idea.
Okay. I just didn't know the hose.
I didn't turn anything on.
Okay.
Ron Casebeer III, he just sent me a message. I didn't read it. How could you want a Thanksgiving dinner with a group full of people that are just going to interrupt you every time you open your mouth over sitting in a bar, eating a hamburger and drinking a beer? I spent Thanksgiving alone in a Denny's once. That was the day I thought I was going to have a heart attack trying to get my motorcycle push started, because I got pretty drunk the night before my birthday in a way that people aren't used to. You know, they say drink yourself sober. I did that night. I was with my friends, and at one point I went, phew. I was totally sober on a Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. Biggest drinking day of the year. And so I started drinking tequila to try and get drunk again. And it never quite worked. But the next day, I thought I was going to have a fucking heart attack. I did. So I don't mind eating alone in Denny's on Thanksgiving. Why not have some time to think about this fucking kid that's coming out of your wife over a beer and a hamburger? I didn't just take his Thanksgiving away, I took everybody's away. But I'm thinking about the people that were celebrating their Thanksgiving and their birthday the same as I was. Bruce Lee was sitting there somewhere, probably around San Francisco in California, celebrating the Thanksgiving Day with a feast with his wife, and possibly his in-laws. Jimi Hendrix was celebrating his birthday and appreciating a good feast with somebody. And the bums. Oh, let's not forget my Aunt Jan. She shared the same birthday with me. So the day I was born, she was eating like the pig that she is. And when I was like 4 or 5, when she showed up, fucking my uncle, Tony, she would chase me. And I'd run. And I'd say, ah. She would want to kiss me. I'm like, you're not the right girl for me. And I would run. Oh, what that says is, what you see, I don't need recognition. If you go to the bottom of that, you see other children running, needing affection. Me, I'm just back off, 6 feet. I don't need recognition. They call that shy. Well, there's my Aunt Jan. She shares the same birthday with me. And it took Jesus 300 years to get the homeless fed after he died. You know, for Constantine or whoever it was to have the dream of crosses in the battlefield and realizing this is a prophetic dream. They're telling me that the Christians are going to take over our Roman fucking empire. And so he said, well, how about we just make them part of us? And so that's when Jesus started getting his stuff, was when the Romans supported him. The very day I was born, we were feeding the homeless. The very day I was born, people were sitting there and enjoying themselves as much as you can probably do in a nation full of people. Even Christmas has a lot of suicide. Thanksgiving, the worst it gets is fighting infighting with family members, which we all enjoy. Everybody's got a story to tell. The day I was born was really a good day to be around.